What are Father's
Okay.
thoughts on God and the powerful devotion in the Islamic world to God? Where do we believe they've got it right, and where do we believe, if we do, that they may have it wrong? It kind of goes back to an earlier question we had about the idea of understanding of God by various, let's say, monotheistic religions.
Yeah. First of all, you don't want to despise, God's revelation through any culture, and God absolutely reveals Himself, through other cultures, through other prophets, and so forth. No question about that. And of course, we don't want to, in any way, disdain true devotion, and that's brought out very clearly in this document called Lumen Gentium. Very important document, the Dogmatic Constitution of the Catholic Church at Vatican II, which does say that people of all religions who are trying to follow God as best they know, according to the dictates of their conscience, they also can have access to the kingdom of God. In other words, the redemptive act of Jesus is going to apply to them if they're just trying to follow God right by the dictates of their conscience and how they understand God. They too will be saved. But the main thing to recognize is that no one is going to be condemned because of an accident of birth. Now, moving that aside for just a second, we also have to say, well, can there be some parts, some groups within some religions, or some groups who claim to be of a particular religion, can they be completely heretical and errant? And of course, the answer is yes. If an Islamist, a person who claims to be of the Islamic faith or claims to be speaking on behalf of Islam, if that person should say, for example, that God prefers hatred, prefers war, prefers indignity, prefers destruction, everything that we would call, as it were, the results and effects of Satan, if they're sitting there proclaiming this in the name of God, that's a false religion. And of course, I'm not saying that that's what Islam stands for, because it doesn't. I mean, the moderates, in Islam are trying their very best to try and separate themselves from radicals who are making these statements. But you can be sure that if the deeds of darkness are being proclaimed to be the deeds of God, it's not only false, it's a blasphemy.
Right.
And by the way, Pope Francis said the same thing himself about a month ago or so.